Your legs aren't weak, just misunderstood. Losing leg strength after 60 isn't aging, it's a warning. This overlooked habit restores power, balance, and mobility. Miss it, and you risk more than just feeling slow. You stand up from the couch and feel it. That slight wobble in your knees, maybe a slower step than usual. It's subtle at first, easy to brush off. Just tired, you tell yourself. But deep down, there's a question that starts to whisper. Is this what aging feels like? Here's the truth. Muscle loss after 60 is real. Your legs especially take the biggest hit. They're the largest, most used muscle group in your body, and also the first to weaken with time. It's called sarcopenia, and by the time you hit 80, you could lose nearly half your muscle mass if you do nothing. That's not just about weakness. It's about your balance, your independence, and yes, your safety. Falls aren't clumsy mistakes. They're often a warning sign. But let's set the record straight. Losing leg strength isn't a life sentence. You are not destined to fade. Muscles respond to action at any age. That's the beautiful twist here. Even in your 70s, even if you haven't trained in decades, your legs are still capable of growing stronger. It's not theory, it's proven. Like Tom, a retired electrician who couldn't walk more than 5 minutes without needing a break. Today, at 74, he's doing bodyweight squats in his garage and mowing his own lawn without hesitation. The problem? Most people wait too long or think it's too late. They buy into the myth that slowing down is just part of aging, but inactivity is what accelerates decline, not the candles on your birthday cake. It starts small, skipping the stairs, avoiding longer walks, using the cart for balance. But every time you sidestep movement, your muscles quietly shrink, and the cycle continues. The good news? You can interrupt that cycle if you know how. There are certain daily actions that can not only maintain your leg strength, but rebuild what's been lost. Some of the most vibrant seniors, those who walk tall into their 80s, aren't gifted with special genes. They've just learned how to treat their legs like the vital living systems they are. And what they're doing might surprise you. You've probably seen them. The older folks who somehow move with the ease and energy of someone half their age. They're not limping, not shuffling. Their posture is tall, their gait steady. They carry groceries without a grunt. Walk uphill without slowing down. They don't just get by, they thrive. And no, it's not luck. These are what researchers call superagers. Not because they're superhuman, but because they've figured out a few key habits that keep their legs and their lives strong. The kind of habits that don't just slow aging, but flip the script entirely. What makes them different? It's not about hitting the gym for hours. In fact, most don't even go to the gym. They move consistently, purposefully every day. They challenge their legs just enough to keep them awake, responsive, and powerful. And they stay nimble, physically and mentally. You might be thinking, that sounds good, but I've already slowed down. That's exactly where the change begins. One step, one movement at a time. Superagers don't wait until they feel ready. They make movement non-negotiable. They treat walking like a prescription. They climb stairs because they can, not because they have to. They train their balance in everyday ways, standing on one foot while brushing their teeth, rising from a chair without using their hands. Their secret is in the compound effect. Little efforts stacked daily lead to major gains over time. And here's the kicker. They're not just preserving leg strength, they're extending their independence, sharpening their minds, and increasing their odds of living longer, fuller lives. A 78-year-old named Rosa walks 3 miles every morning. Her trick? She listens to old jazz records on her phone and walks to the beat, keeps her pace steady and her spirit light. Her doctor says she has the cardiovascular health of someone in their 50s. She just shrugs and says, "I don't sit still long enough to feel old." That's the mindset. And you can build it too. Not by pushing harder, but by moving smarter. And there's one unexpected habit that superagers lean on to spark this momentum. One that might surprise you. It might sound strange at first. Why would something uncomfortable like a cold shower or sitting in a hot sauna actually help your muscles stay strong? But here's the kicker. A little stress can do wonders for your body, not the kind that comes from traffic or taxes. This is called hormetic stress, tiny controlled challenges that trigger your body to toughen up, heal faster, and work better. Think of it like a reset button for your cells. When you expose yourself to these stressors briefly, like 30 seconds under a cold stream or 15 minutes in a sauna, Your body kicks into repair mode, blood flow increases, inflammation decreases, mitochondria, the tiny power plants in your cells, fire up. And guess what that means for your legs? Faster recovery, more oxygen to the muscles, better endurance, and over time, noticeable strength gains. Saunas especially have been studied for their effect on longevity. In Finland, where sauna use is part of everyday life, researchers found that people who use saunas regularly have significantly lower risk of heart disease, Alzheimer's, and, you guessed it, mobility issues. The heat mimics the effects of moderate exercise, getting your blood vessels dilated and your heart pumping, all while you're sitting still. On the flip side, cold exposure wakes up your nervous system. It tightens blood vessels, speeds up circulation, and boosts mood by triggering a release of norepinephrine, a chemical that also helps with focus and muscle recovery. Now, this isn't about punishing yourself. It's about short bursts, a 1-minute cold shower at the end of your regular warm one, a quick contrast therapy, warm water followed by a cool rinse, or if you've got access, a dry sauna 2 to 3 times a week, followed by a glass of water and a little leg stretching. Small, consistent nudges, not extremes, can work magic. Many superagers rely on this trick, often without realizing it has a name. They just notice they feel sharper, steadier, more alive when they build these rituals into their week. And there's a fascinating reason your muscles respond even better to these stressors, especially when paired with something else that most people completely overlook. Most people don't realize what's quietly wearing down their strength. It's not just time or lack of movement. It's something far sneakier, chronic inflammation. The kind that lingers in your body day after day, slowing your healing, fogging your mind, and gradually eating away at your muscle tissue, especially in your legs. Inflammation isn't always visible. You might feel it as stiffness in the morning, or a general heaviness in your legs after walking. But under the surface, it's doing more than making you sore. It interferes with muscle repair, blocks nutrients from doing their job, and weakens the connection between your brain and muscles. It's like a low-grade fire that never quite goes out. Now, here's the hopeful part. You can fight it, naturally and effectively. One of the most powerful tools? Sleep. Deep quality sleep is when your body does its real maintenance work. If you're tossing and turning or waking up unrested, inflammation sticks around longer than it should. Start small. Cut off screens an hour before bed, cool your room to around 65 degrees, and try magnesium glycinate. Many seniors report better sleep within days. Food matters too. Turmeric, wild-caught salmon, berries, leafy greens, olive oil. These are not just healthy foods. They're inflammation fighters. When you eat them regularly, your body feels it. Less swelling, more energy, better movement. Skip processed snacks and sugary cereals, and your legs will thank you. And don't underestimate your gut. A healthy gut supports a strong immune system, which directly affects inflammation. Try adding fermented foods like kefir, kimchi, or plain yogurt, and keep your fiber intake up. Prebiotics feed the good bacteria that help keep your system in check. Movement also plays a huge role. Not just walking, but gentle mobility exercises. Think hip circles, leg swings, seated stretches, anything that keeps the joints lubricated and blood moving. Even 5 minutes twice a day can start making a difference. It keeps your legs from stiffening up and helps nutrients flow right where they're needed. This isn't just about feeling better, it's about rebuilding. Superagers don't just reduce inflammation, they prevent it from stealing their strength in the first place. They understand that if your body's always fighting an internal fire, it can't focus on building muscle or improving balance. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Because fighting inflammation works even better when you support it with a few often forgotten nutrients that your muscles desperately depend on. You might think of vitamin D as just the sunshine vitamin, something nice to have for bones or mood. But if your legs have felt weaker lately, unsteady on stairs, less push in your step, it might be the missing link. Low vitamin D doesn't just drain your energy, it drains your stability. What most people don't know is that vitamin D works like a switchboard operator for muscle function. Without enough of it, your legs can't contract properly, your balance suffers, and your risk of falling skyrockets. And this isn't theory, it's backed by solid research. Older adults with blood levels above 40 ng ml show sharper reflexes, stronger grip, and far better lower body strength compared to those who are deficient. Now here's the kicker. Nearly 1 in 2 older adults have suboptimal levels and don't even know it. Why? As you age, your skin produces less vitamin D from sunlight, and unless you're eating wild salmon every night or taking the right supplement, chances are you're not making up for that shortfall. But there's a second player in this story. Vitamin K2. It's like D's silent partner. While D helps you absorb calcium, K2 makes sure that calcium ends up in your bones and not in your arteries. Without K2, vitamin D can't do its job fully, especially when it comes to strengthening the muscles that stabilize your legs and spine. What can you do? Start simple. Get your vitamin D levels checked. You want to be above 40 ng/ml. Many are hovering around 20 or less. Supplement with D3 plus K2. The MK7 form is most effective. And pair it with some healthy fats, like avocado or olive oil, for better absorption. And yes, some daily sunlight helps, but in most places it's not enough on its own. You may not feel a deficiency the way you'd feel a pulled muscle, but over time, the impact on your leg strength is real and serious. Many seniors report noticeable improvements in balance and confidence just weeks after correcting their levels. And that boost in strength? It goes even further when you support it with a key habit that builds muscle from the inside out, starting with something as simple as how you eat your protein. If you're like most people, you probably eat the bulk of your protein at dinner. A big piece of chicken or a hearty bowl of chili at the end of the day, right? It feels satisfying. But here's what most don't realize. Your muscles, especially in your legs, don't work on a catch-up system. They need steady fuel throughout the day to stay strong. Muscle protein synthesis, the process that builds and repairs muscle, is like a switch. And to flip that switch effectively, especially as you age, your body needs about 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at each meal, not just dinner. Think about that. If you're skipping breakfast or having toast and coffee with barely a few grams of protein, your body is missing one of its 3 daily chances to repair muscle. That's a huge opportunity lost, especially when your legs are already working hard to hold you up. Here's what this looks like in real life. Scrambled eggs with cottage cheese and avocado in the morning. Lunch, grilled chicken wrap with a side of lentils or edamame. Even a protein smoothie with Greek yogurt, chia seeds, and berries can make a big difference. Add a scoop of clean protein powder if needed. It doesn't have to be complicated, just consistent. Studies show that this meal-based approach can boost muscle synthesis by up to 25% in older adults, without changing total protein intake. It's not more protein, it's smarter timing. And not all protein is created equal. Focus on complete proteins, those with all essential amino acids. Eggs, lean meats, dairy, soy, quinoa. They give your muscles what they actually need to grow, not just bulk for your plate. One more tip, don't forget leucine. It's an amino acid that plays a direct role in triggering muscle repair. Whey, protein, and eggs are excellent sources. And yes, even a small bump in your protein game can translate to steadier legs, stronger steps, and better stamina. All of that gets amplified when your cells have the micronutrients they depend on to actually use that protein. You've probably heard the phrase, "You are what you eat." But when it comes to leg strength, it goes even deeper. You are what your muscles can absorb and use. And for that, you need more than just protein. You need the right micronutrients, those small but mighty compounds that fuel everything from muscle contraction to nerve signaling. Magnesium is one of the biggest players here. It helps your muscles relax and contract properly. Without it, cramps, weakness, and sluggish recovery. Many older adults are low in magnesium simply because the foods we eat today are more processed and stripped of minerals. Adding spinach, almonds, pumpkin seeds, or a high-quality magnesium glycinate supplement can fill in the gap fast. Then there's creatine. Yes, the same one athletes use, but don't write it off as just a bodybuilder's shortcut. Studies show that older adults who take 3-5 grams of creatine daily while doing light resistance training build significantly more leg strength than those who don't. It helps your muscles store energy more efficiently, which means more push in every step and less fatigue when you climb stairs. Vitamin B12 also plays a huge role, especially for your nerves. It supports the signals your brain sends to your muscles. When B12 is low, you might feel slower, off balance, or like your legs are heavy even when you're well rested. Deficiency becomes more common with age, especially if you're taking certain medications or follow a plant-based diet. A simple blood test can tell you if you're in the safe zone. And don't overlook trace minerals, zinc, selenium, copper. They're needed in tiny amounts, but they act like spark plugs for the enzymes that repair muscle tissue. They also help manage oxidative stress, which, if left unchecked, damages the very fibers you're working to protect. The thing is, most people don't realize that their muscle-building efforts are limited not by what they're doing, but by what their body's missing. And even when your nutrition is solid, there's another piece of the puzzle that makes the biggest difference of all: keeping the connection between your brain and your legs sharp and responsive. Strong legs aren't enough. You need fast, clear signals between your brain and muscles. That connection fades with age, slowing your reactions and weakening coordination. But you can retrain it. Try balance drills, quick footwork, even memory games. Supplements like ALA may help keep those nerves firing. Superagers stay sharp not just by moving more, but by thinking while they move. And when that connection's strong, the right kind of training becomes even more effective. Want to know the one habit that changes everything? Resistance training. Not extreme workouts, just steady, progressive leg exercises like squats, lunges, or step-ups. Done right, they can rebuild lost muscle, improve balance, and boost strength by over 30% in weeks. Even 10 minutes a day can trigger growth. Superagers don't just stay active. They challenge their legs consistently, and it's never too late to start. The next step? Making it stick, day after day. Feet. That's not just aging. It's a signal. And now, you know what to do about it. So, what will it be? Wait for the next fall, or start getting stronger today. Tap the video on your screen to see exactly how to make this one habit part of your day. It's simple, it works, and it's built for real life. And if you want more smart, doable ways to stay strong as you age, hit subscribe. Let's keep this going together.